Good evening. Welcome to the Connersville Parks Board, November 24th, 2025 meeting. If you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Angie McMullen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If everyone would please turn their cell phone ringers off at this time, be a distraction. Angie, if you would do roll call, please.
Amy Hammonds.
Here.
Angie McMullen.
Here.
Ann Kirshner. Van Leschwa.
Here.
Julie Fisher.
Here.
Rob Ball.
Here.
Thank you. Did everyone have a chance to read over the minutes from the October 27th meeting?
It was like reading a book.
I know. Any additions or corrections? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Okay.
And I'll
Second.
Okay, thank Julie for the second, Angie first. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Marla, Superintendent's report.
Yes, so, last month, we had a playground meeting, or a Lily Gift Grant meeting with our, team that is in the works of designing the playground and also the, trail segments that are taking place through the grant funds that we received. And so Abby, the foundation director, the mayor, and the design team and I met with several companies back in October. We had interviews with all of them to review playground suggestions that they had and designs that they had come up with. And we had a lot to choose from. There's many designs out there that we can go with. Everything that was presented to us was one of a kind, not had been done yet, which is kind of our goal. We want to be unique compared to other areas around. We want something new and something that's going to withhold many years of play. After that interview process, Abby and I toured several parks on the north side of Indianapolis and also on the south side of the same companies that install playgrounds in those areas. And so we found a lot of strengths and weaknesses to the different areas that we visited. But we believe that we came up with a playground that is going to be something like one of a kind in this area. So we had a meeting with a design company or with our general contractor, and they are going to be letting them know the company that we chose and informing them that they won the bid, and then we will be moving forward with that. We hope to break ground first of the next year on the playground design, depending on weather and the process of getting the design work done. So we're really excited about that. We're still in the design phase of the trail segments as well, but everything seems to be moving along rather nicely and in good timing. So we're excited about all of the development that's going to be coming next year. I just want to say thank you to the Pickleball Club for the many hours of volunteer work that they put into sealing our pickleball courts back in October. We were able to purchase the sealant from the Reed Health Community Benefits Fund that we received from them. That was one thing that we had requested at the beginning of the year when we had to give our report as to what we wanted the funds to go towards. And that was one of the areas. And so the Pickleball Club actually came to me requesting to volunteer their time if we could work out some kind of a deal. And I had already had in the process of purchasing sealant. So it worked out great. The timing worked out great. And we just want to thank them for completing this project for us and working hard. And it was many hours they spent doing that. So we're thankful for that. And then I just reported on the Fayette County Free Fair contract that we are still in the midst of. This report that I write for you guys also goes to Board of Works. So I reported to them as well, kind of caught them up on where we stand. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. So I don't feel like there's anything I need to go over at this point with that. And then we had our first responders trunk or treat on October 28th. We had over 1,800 people come through the trunk or treat. It was a beautiful night. It actually was National First Responders Day, so that was really cool that it landed on the same day. We didn't know that at the time that we scheduled this, so it just worked out. It was a beautiful night. We had very unique costumes. We had over 40 vehicles and over 50 volunteers that came out, decorated their vehicles, and passed out candy to the community. And we had our People's Choice Award winner was Lone Construction. And then we did a first, second, and third place winner to the costume contest. And our first responders were the judges for that. So I think they had a good evening, and it's by far our probably the community's favorite event that we put on as far as attendance goes. So that's something fun that we like to do, and we like to add something new each year when we do it. So we'll look forward to next year. And then upcoming events, just continually are This Week at the Park weekly news on Facebook. November Living Well, Aging Well calendar is out with all of the activities, but now we're moving into December, so we have that calendar out as well. And then registration for Christmas lights. So we still have spots available if anybody does want to set up a Christmas display. We request that the displays are set up by November 30th because People's Choice Award voting starts December 1st. So that'll be on Monday. So they have the rest of this week to get their light display up in the park. And then Christmas party in the park is December 11th from 5 to 7. So we're looking forward to that. We have some new things that are going to be taking place during that event. So we hope that everybody will come out and enjoy an evening with Santa and all of the activities. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Marla. All right, Assistant Superintendent Kelly.
So we have been very busy preparing for a Christmas party in the park. We've put tons and tons of hours into this. It's December 11th from 5 to 7. It's a Thursday night, so we hope everyone can come out to that. It's an open house type of event, so we have 2 carriages coming. It's first come, first serve, so basically if you want to do a carriage ride, you're going to get in the line, and then it's free. So we have Stone Soup Musical Group coming, Pastor's Lady and his wife Jackie. They're very talented musicians. They're going to be playing music for the evening. We have Shark Bite Popcorn coming with hot waffles on a stick and a coffee cart. Santa and Mrs. Claus will be in the banquet hall. We would like to thank all of our sponsors that have helped make Christmas in the Park possible. This year they were FCN Bank, USLA, Firefly, Reed Health Community Engagement, and Alquina Church. And we would also like to thank the construction class from the Whitewater Career Center. They've been a huge help. They are volunteered to cut out all of our Christmas Village displays. It's a lot of work, but we are very thankful for them. And then we would also like to thank Benny's Plumbing. They donated a lot of PVC pipe and materials for us to make our arch and for the light display. Gilman's also donated 20 sheets of Luan board for our Christmas Village. So we really appreciate all these businesses helping to make this event great for our community. Living Well, Aging Well, the program's been going great. We've had steady attendance for all of the activities. We have 2 students that have been job shadowing for the last 8 weeks. They've been doing great. We had our ice cream social event November 18th. That was a lot of fun. And like Marla said, there's calendars in the park office. You can come pick up and see all of the events for December. And upcoming projects and goals, we're just gearing up for the 2026 pool season, working on staffing and certifications for the pool season, and then always looking for new ideas for the Living Well, Aging Well program. So if anybody has any ideas, you can let me know.
Okay, thank you. All right, athletic director Logan.
Thank you. So our girls' basketball season is about midway through right now. Everything's going smooth according to plan. That regular season for that will go on until December 13th, with the tournament being the following Saturday, December 20th. So I was working on the recognition night for the girls, and came to December 13th is going to be that. It's a Saturday. I'm still working out all the details and everything, but I'm assuming it'll probably be like normal. It'll be during the halftime of the varsity game, and all of our girls will get to go out there on the Spartan Bowl floor and have some fun. So our boys basketball sign-ups are now closed. Drafts were completed last week. Everybody should be on a team by now, and those games start after Christmas break. January 10th is our first day of games for the boys, and they will go until February 28th. Men's and church league basketball registrations are now open, with the deadline being December 19th. The season also starts after the new year. I believe that we're doing the first Sunday and Monday for those. So I think it's the 3rd and the 4th, or the 4th and the 5th of January. And for those, we have to have the payment and the rosters turned in by the deadline. So kind of a short turnaround for that, but hopefully everybody that attended last year will want to do it again. So my goals, I know I said it before, never hurts to give a reminder about what our rec sports are all about. Everybody likes to win, and that's great, but we really are, I think, moving in the right direction with that. Obviously still have a lot of work to do, but I think we're moving in the right direction. So
Okay,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right, we'll go on to old business, which the Fair Board contract. If you want to come to the podium, state your name and.
Danny Grubbs. You want to proceed with the contract?
Yes, so if you'll read through what you proposed to us.
So just so everyone is aware, after our last meeting, the Fair Board had received our proposed contract. They have come back to us with some requests and changes, and so that's what we're asking that they present to us tonight.
Do I need to just touch on each line? Is that fine?
Yes, if you would just go down through each one of those and state what you've
Okay,
proposed.
the opening statement on it, we were called club. We would like to be called Fayette County Free Fair in the contract if it's possible. Number 2, it states that we have use of the administrative building, Liberty Building, amphitheater, including grandstands and track. We took out what we call the old 4-H building.
The Roberts Building.
The Roberts Building. Number 4, I think it stated Friday instead of Wednesday, as far as the cleanup beforehand. The reason is we may have an event that Friday. And that said too, for B, instead of Friday, having the bathrooms ready, have it Wednesday also. Same thing for that event. number 8, I'll just read the whole paragraph. The Fayette County Free Fair agrees to provide the department with a list of names and phone numbers of all officers responsible for the park property. The department will provide a list of names and phone numbers of park employees, park board members to the Fayette County Free Fair for, make sure the name of that word, emergencies pertaining to the fair. The park superintendent will be on a 24-hour-a-day during the fair. The Fayette County Free Fair is required to contact with licensed electricians or plumber for each emergency outside the 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Number 14, I'll read the whole thing. Fayette County Free Fair will pay rent of the amount of $3,500 to the department, to the city for the use of electricity and water, and Robert Sparks for the fair, provided that the electric meters are read by Duke Energy and the water meters are also read by Connersville Utilities before and after the fair. If rates exceed $3,500, the Fayette County Free Fair will pay the over usage. If the rates are under the amount of $3,500, the department will issue a refund to the Fayette County Free Fair for the durations. Number 15, the department will provide 60 picnic tables to the park, tables in the Roberts Park Pavilion, and 65 picnic tables to the Liberty Building. These are all the tables that can be made available. No member of the Fayette County Free Fair is permitted to move additional picnic tables from the department shelters. The park will not supply picnic tables to the Fayette County campers so that they can be used at the park for the park shelters. If they wish to have a picnic table, their campsite, they can contact the park office to rent a table at the cost of $45 for 7 days. Number 18, for any event the Fayette County Free Fair holds on city property outside of the week of the Fayette County Free Fair, the Fayette County Free Fair shall comply with the provisions of the rental contract set by the ordinance. The Fayette County Free Fair shall be allowed to have one standardbred harness race at no rental charge for maintenance materials for the upkeep of the track provided by the Fayette County Free Fair and the Standardbred Association. I believe that's it.
All right, so when we met in the mayor's office, it was Angie McMullen, myself, Marla, Danny, and then 2 other members that I believe now are those still current board members?
No, they're not current board
Okay.
members.
All right, so some of the questions that were, I think, brought up during that meeting, and I just wanted to make sure that we were transparent in those questions with the public as well. When you look at income that you receive on your behalf during the week of the fair, I know I had asked about the amusement company, and I said, do you have to pay for those amusement companies to come into the fair? And what was your response to that? Like the
I don't
amusement?
remember what my response is, but we get 25%.
Right, so you do not, just to clarify, you do not pay for the amusement company to come
No.
to the fair?
No.
You receive a a portion, 25% of the income from that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then also, you're receiving income from the vendors that are set up for the fair as well, on the Midway as well
Yes.
as the other areas?
Yes.
Okay. And then also, you're receiving income from the day sponsors that are each one of the sponsors in the
Yes.
community? Okay. And then also, you're receiving income from the campsites?
Yes.
And you have approximately 70, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, yes,
okay. And those campsites, I understand, are 125 per week
yes.
per site? Okay. All right. And then as far as, I know I asked for this and I don't think you guys had that available, and you may have now, but a profit and loss statement showing what your income year-to-date was, or your income from the fair?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
But we had a loss of the fair this year.
Okay. And then other revenue streams that the Fair Board has is the rental of the expo hall, correct? And how much is that per rental
It's
use?
$750 for a weekend.
Okay, for the weekend, for 2
Yes,
days?
yeah.
Okay, okay. And then as far as your board members, you do receive a salary, correct? A
Yes.
small portion of a
Yeah,
salary?
a small
Right,
salary.
right. I just want to make sure, because that's
Yeah.
in the bylaws, so I just want to be
Yeah.
transparent with that. Okay. All right. And then as far as any other questions, I think that were brought up during that meeting, it was questioned about the usage from Duke Energy. And since then, we have received a usage for that 2-week period of time, which I don't know if we want to share that.
Do you have it? Are you available?
And Marla can kind of come in from that. So I'll let Marla kind of talk about the chart here from Duke Energy.
I can't see it. So,
Sorry.
this is straight from their website on our account. And it just shows you, this is October, November of 24, December of 24, December, January of 25, January, February of 25, March to April, April to May, May to June. And then this is June to July, July to August, and this is July 25th to August 22nd, and then August 22nd to September 23rd, September 24th to October 24th, and then November 25. So this just is to show you where where it stays pretty level throughout the whole year. And this is just the meters that are within the areas of where the fair will utilize the Parks Department ground. So this does not include, we have hundreds of meters, this does not include all of them. This is just in the locations where the fair will utilize our area of the park. So you can see where it does just a little bit of an increase. That would be where the pool comes in, just a little bit, but then this is where the fair would come in, and then it starts to drop back down. And if you can show the next slide. Go to the next. Okay, so this is the billing cycle specifically broke down per day of the chart that we were just looking at. But it's per day. So this is July 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then it goes to the end of the month. So this right here is the time frame as to when the park moves in. They actually move in on July 24th of 2025, and then they moved out August 6th of 2025. So this shows you the increase in our electric bill that we had for the week that the fair was in the Parks Department, or in the park.
In the park. All right, so we just wanted to be transparent with that. And then one of the statements that you had proposed with that is that Duke would, I believe that's in number 14, that Duke would read that. We can't control if Duke would read it or not. We can only go off the bills. We can ask them to read it, but we cannot ensure that they will. So that would be one of the things that we would have to revise in the contract that you've proposed, is because we can't control Duke. We can only ask them to come in. So we would go off of the bills and show the increase there.
But can I ask,
Sure.
could we ask to go?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Most certainly ask
Yes.
Duke to check the meters. It's gonna read the same as what our bills read, but we can ask them, but what we're saying is it can't be in our contract, because we can't control if they're gonna come or not.
Right, I understand, yes. I
So
understand.
that would not be allowed, like, we
Right.
would not be able to have that in our
I
contract.
understand, yes.
And then also, one of the other things that we would want to just state right off is the number 18 that you proposed, that was regarding that we should allow you to have one free Indiana standard bred harness racing at no rental charge. That is not part of the fair contract, so that would have to be deleted from that. That is a completely separate event, so that would have to be something completely separate from the fair
Okay.
itself. So those were two items that we needed to omit from there as far as your proposed contract. There were a couple of things that were deleted out of our original contract.
I think I know what you're talking about there, it'd be 5 and 6. I actually seen it today.
You have 5 and 6 on there.
Is 5 and 6 on yours? It wasn't on mine for some reason.
The couple things were the part, the club would provide
Oh, yeah.
that one. And that was on there.
Mhm.
Okay. So the one was, and it was at the end, so it was talking about the default wording was omitted. There it
On the
says,
second page.
on the second page, it has in bold letters, in black default, the failure by either party to this agreement to comply with any.
What's the number of it?
It's not a number, it's a bullet point at the very bottom after
After
20.
Okay,
And it states default, the failure by either party to this agreement to comply with any of the terms or conditions contained herein shall be considered an event of default. If an event of default occurs, the party not in fault shall notify the defaulting party in writing of the event of the default is not cured within 3 days of the date that the notice of default is given. The party not in default may immediately terminate this agreement. So that cannot be omitted, so that could have just been
I think that was
an error on your part, okay.
Yes.
And then also the other item was under the section notice below that, it was item A. That read originally, the club has declined use of the amphitheater stage lighting per verbal agreement with the Fair Board President. We just want to clarify that you do not need that lighting.
not need it.
Okay, so those were just in error then?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll just clarify that. All right, so,
Can I-
yep, so Marla can, yep.
So what we would like, also some things that as I was reviewing this, the fair moves in on Wednesday of, the week before the fair, or the week that the fair gets ready to start. And so, we would just, in section 4, A, B, and C, where it says Wednesdays, we would just request that it's Tuesday by 3 p.m. because that's when our men leave. And then we will have the fair ready to go
Okay.
when they leave by the end of Tuesday.
So those are,
We just want to move that up because we think we're going to have an event the first Friday of the fair this year.
okay.
And then on 8, I would request that I do not need to supply all of my park employees' numbers, that you would just have my phone number and the office number. It already states that I am 24/7 during the fair, so if you have any issues or concerns, that you would contact me instead. I don't feel like my employees need to be present, they don't make those decisions, so they don't need to be.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
But you can always call the office as well during office hours. And then just to clarify that, to everyone that you are requesting to not have to pay rent to the park property that you utilize for 15 days, that you're just wanting to pay $3,500 for the Duke Energy, but if that exceeds $3,500, you would pay the difference. If it is under $3,500, then we would owe you.
That's correct.
So there will be no rent paid if we approve this.
So the way that's stated, just to clarify that, it's stated as will pay rent in the amount of $3,500, so that is not correct.
Correct.
Correct, okay, just for clarification purposes. Okay, I just thought one other thing. All right, I'm opening up for.
Oh, you would also remove, sorry,
Go ahead.
out of
Oh, no.
number 2, you had removed the Red Cross building as well. So if you were choosing to remove the Red Cross building, then that gives us rights to rent that out during the 15 days. The Red Cross building, it's always been in your contract, because you've utilized it in the past, but it's not in here now. So the Roberts building and the Red Cross building were removed from the contract that you presented to us.
Okay, yes, yeah.
And that was on purpose,
I
both
forgot about that
buildings?
one. I forgot about that one.
Okay,
So we will be able to utilize that, and that means that if we rent that to people, they'll have free access to that parking lot, and we will have to reserve certain spots for that building for people to park in if they rent that building out.
and then it would affect the barricades that are set up there
Then
too?
why don't we just say we'll use it?
Okay. So we need to add the Red Cross building, but the Roberts building stays deleted from it?
Yeah, we don't need the Roberts building.
Okay, not needed. Okay. All right. Anything else before we open it up to discussion
No.
for the board? Okay. All right, open for discussion on the board. If there's any questions, concerns, Mr. Grubb's here to answer those. Anything Marlo or I can answer. Angie was also at the meeting too, so. Got anything to say? Say it now. Okay. All right.
In my opinion, I don't feel like we can offer the facilities of the park at no cost. Because during those 15 days, I no doubt believe that we could rent that out and profit some money. And with our budget being decreased next year and moving forward year after year, it will be decreased even more. We have to find areas of revenue. And so in my opinion, I don't feel that we are in the place to be able to provide this as a no-cost rent to the Fair Board.
Any other interjections on that?
What
Yes, sir.
alternative do you suggest, Marla?
I mean, we've requested we've requested the amount that we would like to receive.
Which, I know I'm not part of the Fair Board, but I'm looking at it from the outside and thinking of what ways the revenue could increase on your side to help ease the pain for you guys and also keep us to where we can maintain facilities, buildings, things of that nature. And, just from quick math, the 70 camp spots, $125, and I know you're trying to keep the cost down to 4-H. I go all over camping pretty much 9 months out of the year, and $125 for an entire week is very cheap. And I know you're trying to keep it down, but if you increased each one of those spots $50, that takes care of the $3,500 right there. And you're not out any additional funds from your profit and loss statement. I know you're trying to keep it down as far as your budget, but inflation, unfortunately, is affecting all of us. And so that was just one thing of a suggestion that I had. I don't know if you have any comments, or as far as I know you had a meeting last week. I don't know if there was any comments or
Yeah.
thought process on that.
I would say, it was said, I believe, it would take about $6,000 with the water, electricity, and your employees to pick up trash, take care of the restroom. And I thought $2,500, $2,000, taking them, we would take the responsibility of that, would drop that cost down from 6,000 to 4,000, I'll just say a number.
Even on the $6,000 number, we were still in the red. You know, we were at 6,800 accrued costs.
And one of the things that I want to bring up, and I know you weren't with that in April of 2023, when Amy Seiler was here, and we discussed that when Carrie Pfeiffer was the president, which we have that on standby that we can show. And we've referred back to that a few times in this last couple of months, is the fact that we stated at that time that we did not want to do a long-term contract because we didn't want to tie ourselves into that because of the additional and rising cost with everything. And so at that point in time, it was portrayed from the Fair Board's behalf that they would be willing to pay for their usage of that, not stating at that time that they were going to forego whatever the contract decided with the rent itself. It was not one or the other. It was rent and pay for the electricity and the usage of that. So that, I feel, was very transparent during that period of time in 2023 that we looked at that. So I don't know how they came back to the board, the membership, and portrayed that to you guys that were on there. But at that point in time, we made it very clear that we were not going to do it for a long-term contract, that we wanted to go year to year because of those fees and the rising costs that we would have. And that was before we even knew that this new bill would affect us with a decreased, income for the park. So by saying that, at this time, we're not going to be able to do it for no rent at all. So we need to come upon, some kind of agreement that we can all live with and still move forward with the fair. But I think for both our parts, we just need to you use your usage, you pay for that, and then we decide a fair amount. $3,500 is what was stated because of the number of buildings that you use and for the length of time, which is a much, much reduced cost than it would be for anyone renting that for that period of time. So that was what we came, but we're, willing to look at that. And then, of course, it would be a vote, and then we would have to come back and amend the contract with the revisions that we had this evening and stated that the things that were omitted and the things that needed to be added, and then also whatever we decide on the rent. So, any thoughts on that or any discussion from your board?
No, I just,
Would that be something you need to go back to them and discuss?
I will have to go back to them, and I'll have to have, sometime in the future, the figure you want.
Well, what we want is 3,500, but
On top of,
on
The
top of
rent.
yes, on top of the rent
Utilities.
plus the utilities that's incurred. And again,
Well,
we would have to wait till we receive the bills if we do not get, if the meters aren't read, we'll have to go by the bills. So depending on how that works out for the
So
fair.
you want us to pay the $3,500 that we suggested and then charge us another $3,500?
Right, because keep in mind,
Well, I
no,
don't
3,000. So our rent is, your rent has been 3,000 consistent for years.
A
I
number of
don't know
years.
when, exactly when that was set.
it's been several contracts ago.
And so what we are proposing is that you pay the continued rent of 3,000 to utilize the park buildings and racetrack, which alone to rent the racetrack and amphitheater is $1,000 a day. So 3,000 to rent all of our facilities is very minimal. But then what we're asking on top of that is for you to pay the electric bill. So we're only, it was 3,800 last year, or I'm sorry, 3,400 last year, and we only added 3,000 to the rent to help supplement the cost of the electric bill.
So if I understand this correctly, you're going to propose another amount to us that could be over the 6,000, which the contract was going to be? See, the one that was proposed to us 2 months ago was $6,000.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think basically that is the $3,000 for rent and then any utilities
Incurred.
expense that you occur.
We don't know
Which
what,
could be less.
Right, it
than-
could be
or
less,
it could be-
right.
But it could also be
Right.
more that takes it
I
to
understand.
7,000 instead of the 6,000 we originally
Just
started
because
with.
each year you don't know what it's gonna
What-
be.
what the
Right.
rates are.
My
gonna be.
electric bill and water bill's definitely
My
up.
saying is, I'm kind of thinking that it may go, instead of us paying the 6,000, which was the original contract, 2 months, 3 months ago, and now it could go over that now? That's what I'm asking. Does it go over that 6,000?
It could, depending on your
Each-
usage.
Well, that would be an evaluation of, that's why we cannot do a 3-year contract, because
each year,
each year we have to reevaluate,
Right.
because for year after year,
it changes.
our rent, or our electric has continually,
Risen.
increased. And so,
I understand
we don't
it's
know
1 year,
what-
I understand.
Right.
2 years, we don't know what the
I
electric bill is gonna be in
understand.
2
What I'm
years.
asking is,
The $6,000.
3 months ago, it was $6,000. And now you tell me it could go up now. I don't understand.
That's only because of the utilities. The 3,000 part has not changed at all.
And the estimated was
Well,
roughly
it was never
3.
stated in this contract about the 3,000, it just said it's a bill of a
That-
donation of 6,000.
And that was to cover our expense of the water, the electric, and rent. So if you take the electric and the water out, there's your difference. So we're asking for 3,000 in rent, and you pay the utilities.
Incurred cost. So we're not asking for $6,000 for rent. We're asking for $3,000 rent and whatever the usage cost is. And I know you're going back to the 6,000, but we're just asking for 3, and we're asking you to pay your usage. If it exceeds that, yes. If it doesn't, then no. So it's 3,000 to us. That's considered your donation, that you're using that term, and we're calling it rent. And then your usage for the utilities.
So then that would
So the-
become the variable every year, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so this next year,
The
because of the
electric would be the
history of the bill and how it has increased, and we know that it will increase even more next year because we've already been given that information. So this year, our bill was $3,400, or it was $3,417.39 just for what I showed you up on the screen for the week, the days that you utilize the park. So where we came up with the 6,000 was the 3,000 you already paid plus the 3,000 towards the electric bill and utilities that we already are paying.
Towards
So I didn't even add in the $417.39.
It was just the 3,000 plus whatever the incurred cost were. And we were just stating that that could be X amount, depending on what the usage is. We're not going to increase that more than what the bill is. It's just gonna be directly billed for the exact amount ongoing from here.
Okay. I'll have to take it to the board and we'll go from there.
Okay. And then when is your next meeting?
We have one, Wednesday,
Oh, when, this coming
uh,
week or next week?
if I can get everybody there. I
Okay.
mean, we're supposed to have a meeting Wednesdays for a different subject,
Okay,
but I'll see if I can get everybody there
okay.
and we'll go from there.
And then you'll get back with Marla once
Yes,
you've had
but-
that meeting? Okay.
But what I'd like to have, what is it gonna cost us next year to rent? Or rent and a usage for the fair, because it was originally $6,000.
That's always gonna be a variable, because that
But it never
variable,
stated it was a variable, I don't understand that though.
Well, it's just on the meter reading, just like she showed on the
Well, I know,
PowerPoint.
but this contract never mentioned about the variable. That's what I'm saying. This contract you offered us 3 months ago never said about the variable.
Because we were expecting that flat fee to be paid, and then we would take care of if there's additional, if it costs us more, then we eat it.
right, but now that we have those numbers available to us and we've had those, Duke has provided that information to us, we have exact numbers to go off of
Probably
now.
every year, it's gonna be It's gonna be a variable.
So that's the variable. 3,000 is the
Fixed
rent,
and a-
but the variable is always going to be the energy cost for that. So that's gonna be an ever-changing, and it's going to be directly billed for what is incurred. So if it's only 2,800, then it's $3,000 rent, $2,800 for the utilities.
Then you save 200 off the original proposal.
Right, so it'd be 5,800. So it's just going to be whatever it cost us is what it's gonna cost you.
And this is just year by year. I can't guarantee that the rent will stay 3,000
Ongoing.
in 4 years. Because as we have seen almost since COVID, spikes in everything.
Sure, I
And
understand.
so we cannot guarantee that year by year it's gonna stay a 3,000 rent and 3,000 in electric. We don't know that.
Okay.
And that's why we can't do a multi-year contract, because we have no control over what things cost.
I would think you would have
And-
that too on your side.
I'm sorry.
You'd probably have that too on your side with
Sure,
the
sure,
campers and
sure.
everything, so.
Okay.
All right, so we'll wait to hear back from you, and then once we can get these revisions changed that we've talked about this evening, that we agreed upon, and then once you speak to your board, get with Marla, and then we would have to vote on it next month at the meeting, okay? All right,
Thank you.
thank you so much, appreciate it, appreciate your time. All right, any other discussion on the fair contract or anything for us? All right. All right, the next is new business. The horse barn, Mr. Grant Quinn, termination of the lease request.
Yes, so, Mr. Quinn came to us in the spring, to rent, the horse stalls from us. And, we've had multiple occurrences where, we've had to discuss things with him, request, that he remove things. And, this last time, there was a fire hazard, which is stated, in the rental agreement, and also on the barns, that there is no, nothing that could create a fire hazard. And the fire department was actually called in, and we had to remove the fire hazard for safety. So because of the multiple occurrences we've had, we are requesting, and he has been notified that he needs to be out by November 30th of this month. So because the board is the one who makes the decision and votes on all of our stall renters, I needed to bring this to your attention so that you're aware of it and approve that him moving out.
Okay, so we make a motion.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, any questions? I did myself see what was removed from there, and it was a portable heater that wasn't fit to be anywhere, let alone there. So I'll entertain a motion to approve for the request for the termination of the lease.
So moved.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, Rob. All those in favor of terminating the lease of Mr. Quinn? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried to terminate the lease. All right, miscellaneous business. Anything miscellaneous you guys have? Okay, anything you guys have? All right, all right. We'll go on to claims, including payroll. Are there any questions concerning that? There was nothing I saw that was any questions or anything, which is normal. Okay. There are no questions for that. I'll entertain a motion to approve claims, including payroll.
I'll move to approve claims and payroll.
Okay, would you have a second?
I will second.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Motion approved for claims and payroll. All right, public forum. Do I have anyone this evening for public forum? Okay. All right, that was easy enough. All right, anything else from the board or? Okay. I just, before we ask for adjournment, I just want to thank everybody and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for all your hard work. I was there at the office on Friday and everybody was busy painting and working. Wendy was painting and working. Angie, everybody was busy. I did want to bring something up this evening because I was just witness to it on Friday. We had more vandalism and damage in the park. We had the playground bathroom broken into, and there was a homeless man inside there. And when I believe it was Randall and Jeremy went in, he was there, and I think it was the urinal, the toilet had been broken. There was feces in there. And so once again, these are why we can't have nice things in Connersville, because we get things like this that happen to us over and over again. And then we have to use our funds to pay for damages that are incurred by things we can't control. So if everyone just wants to keep an eye open, if you see anything in the park, if you see anything on the trails, make sure you report it to the police. We have taken measures. It was Friday, I think it was on 2 separate instances. Marla can probably give a little bit more detail to the 2 people that were trespassing. We also had an instance at the Babe Ruth of the same situation that our park employees had to clean up. And so those people have been given their rights by the police to not trespass on our property. And so those are the things that Marla and all the employees have to handle. So I just want to say thanks to them for all the things that they do, because I don't think everybody realizes all the little small things that happen at all the different parks that we operate throughout the community. So, and again, we have lots of good things that happen here, but those are just things that unfortunately we can't control, but we have to pay for. So, all right, that being said, if there is nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Well, and a second.
A second.
Angie, all those in favor, aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, motion carried, meeting adjourned.